As a private equity management executive, are you ready to answer hard financial questions across all your funds? Do you struggle to consolidate information across multiple funds? Can you share real-time data across financial and investment analysis? Are tough decisions documented in the context of your portfolio for future reference? Are you GAAP compliant and audit ready? Introducing Sage Intacct, the cloud financial management system meeting these demands for investment management firms and used for over $500 billion in assets under management. Interviews with thought leaders in asset management, private equity, and accounting have brought to light the acceleration of the diversification into alternative and illiquid assets, such as private equity, potentially across multiple geographies. They've recognized the need to protect clients through not only more legal entities, but also more complex legal structures. Previously, this sort of structure was only available to large or sophisticated firms. We've seen a major shift to this strategy, even by modestly sized firms. Lawyers, tax accountants, and auditors agree that the effective utilization of this strategy is fundamental to the protection of assets, acquisition of assets, and the sale of assets. Let me briefly show you how Sage Intacct keeps you in control across your funds. In this simple example, a private equity management firm has 3 funds dealing with U.S. venture capital, European venture capital, and growth capital. The tools and processes are equally applicable to different kinds of funds in different locations. The managers for each fund see just their part of the business. U.S. venture capital managers see just the U.S. venture capital fund. European venture capital managers see just the European venture capital fund, and so on. While the CFO and Chief Investment Officer can see information across all the funds. Continued fallout from unrest has caused concerns about the European Venture Capital Fund and how it's impacting the office overall. A board meeting scheduled for next week is moved up to this afternoon. We start with a built-in role-based dashboard that instantly captures financial information from across a business. In the view of the U.S. Venture Capital Fund, we instantly see the latest financial and operational analysis in key performance indicators. We can see that cash is down versus prior quarter, but up versus prior year. Drilling down into the data, we instantly see the transactions driving that metric. Getting to underlying data right inside the system of record is a key component to staying GAAP compliant and surviving an audit. Jumping over to the European Venture Capital Fund, we see that assets have been suddenly impacted and come down. We're able to see the latest financials and KPIs for instant analysis by the Chief Investment Officer and the CFO. Because asset class is tracked as a dimension, we can see how each individual asset class affects the fund. As we move to the Growth Capital Fund, we see a breakthrough. They're getting extra funding with a post-money valuation of $50 million, up from $20 million. The Chief Investment Officer and CFO both have instant access to this data. Looking at these 3 different funds, we see that they have different focuses but a shared chart of accounts. And the board wants the top-down picture this afternoon. Because a shared chart of accounts allows for continuous consolidation, the CFO can roll up information from across the organization. If you work across borders in multiple currencies, the system automatically consolidates to a single base currency for consistent analysis. As you can see from this top-level view, overall, we're doing well. We are also able to look at the consolidated funds from the perspective of the Chief Investment Officer, gaining additional insights into metrics important to that role. Beyond tracking what you did and when you did it, it's important to track why you did it. Rather than relying on emails, Sage Intacct provides a consistent front-to-back office compliance tool. You collaborate on decisions and then document those decisions in the context of the financial records they relate to. Note the CFO's comment. After seeing the consolidated data, we have decided to have a renewed focus on U.S. venture capital. We need to analyze by asset class. Also, we need further cash-on-cash analysis. Notice the included snapshot of the graph now permanently stored as part of the conversation. A follow-up note from the Chief Investment Officer says, given the decisions made at the board meeting today, we have an opportunity on a startup in Nashville. We're behind in the deal and need to make a decision ASAP. Check cash and committed capital. A year from now, when the executives are discussing why they shifted focus, they can replace recollection and speculation with a documented decision and audit trail. With a consistent view across all the funds, they can continue to slice and dice by fund, location, asset class, including foreign funds over time, all with no IT support. With dozens or even hundreds of funds, the process is the same. In summary, using Sage Intacct's dashboards as a starting point, members of the board analyze the strategy in real time, using financial and operational data consolidated from across the portfolio. They drill down to see the meaning behind the numbers, the transactions, and collaborative conversations. Executives were able to define problems and decide what to do next. And then, and this is important, they were able to document those decisions, capturing a record for future discussions. Along the way, automated close and roll-up processes keep the company GAAP compliant and audit ready. And because the office has been so successful, it's been able to quickly add funds and keep growing. Start gaining greater visibility and control in your private equity firm today by scheduling a live demo of Sage Intacct.